text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. Now you
Yep,
know.
yep.
205-964-5243. Now you know.
Ooh, oh, that was good. Good afternoon. March 21st, 2022. We're here to talk about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaling real estate where your cash or credit does not matter. Being broke won't matter. Low barrier to interest, low risk, high reward opportunity. If you're real about it, everything you need to know is here. It's just a tool, content, answers that we provide. It's a tool that has to be used. It is worthless if you don't use the info and apply it. To get pushed to the front of the line to have your own personal one-on-one coaching live with me, just text the word Gator. Why do we use the word Gator? Because Gators will go above and beyond to feed. So in this game of life, you got Gators and you got the feed, the food. So which one are you? So anyway, text the word Gator if you want to join us. Contract that I've been giving away since 2008, been using it myself since 2003 and beyond. You can text the word contract. In that video that you received back, I show you not only how to access it for free on an unlimited basis, but also how to fill it out for sellers and cash buyers. So that's your superpower, the actual contract. We're doing a strong push on land. If you want to enter into the lower competition side of the game, text the word MUD for the script so you can speak to talk to sellers, to owners, and also a video to show you how to build a list of landowners. So text the word MUD, M-U-D, land, mud, dirt, get it, mud. All right, what else we gonna do here? Most people fail at doing this because they never figure out what a great deal is. The whole purpose of this is being able to locate great deals and determine, well, to locate great deals, but to determine that you have a great deal when you locate one. So text the letters GD, guess what it stands for? Great deal, to the 205-964-5243. They said we can't hear 10 or what we got. The follow-up video that you need for that is ARV. They sort of go together, so text the letters ARV, which means after repair value, which is a huge piece of the puzzle in determining whether you have an opportunity that you can succeed. Another big part of the puzzle is buyers. Text the word buyers to this number. This video give you a leg up on finding buyers in pretty much any market. If you want to partner with me on houses, you text the numbers 5050-2964 or 205-964-5243. We got questions yet?
We got one on TikTok.
Okay.
All right. The first question on TikTok, it said, what should I say if the seller thinks you are a scammer?
If the seller thinks you are a scammer, so you have to I'll just ask them. Well, normally, let me just say, it just depends on how it's being presented. They just come out and say, I'm not going to talk to you all are scammers, blah, blah, blah. You could try to go into what you do in your process or whatever, but in most cases, you're dealing with a crazy person. So, well, I'll say that, let me back up. People have different experiences. You're dealing with someone that something has happened in their life that they feel like that you're a scammer. Now, I don't know what you said to them either. That may factor in also, right? What did you say to them? So there's several factors in there. So there's just no real cut and dry answer there. But explaining what you do is you buy houses, you buy them as is, you close them, what'd I say? 2 to 4 weeks. You pay all closing costs minus any unpaid taxes, mortgages, or liens. So that normally answers all the questions. Say, what's your company name? If you don't have one established, a business entity, your company name is, guess what? First name, whatever your name is, last name, whatever your name is, right? So just say, hey, first name Bill, last name Payer. So yeah.
All right. Everyone from YouTube is saying hello. Hello from Tampa, Florida. Thanks for your valuable content. Make sure you don't comment the words that he wants you to text. Like Mud, actually text them to the number. So text the keywords to 205-964-5243. This one came from Devin's World. He said, "Hi Flip, what softwares would a new wholesaler need to be successful? I found so many, it's confusing."
Yeah, there's a lot of options out there. So you're here, you're following my content. So I'm just going to give you some keywords to get you going. For the text messaging, if you're going to go use that option as a method of generating leads, text the word text to this number. All right. To access one of the tools used for text messaging, text the word tool. And on top of that, which that's PropStream, the other one is batch leads for the text messaging. If you text the word is time. There it is. If you text the word time to the number 205-964-5243, we'll train you on how to use PropStream if you sign up through the link from the tool keyword. So those are going to be the main ones that we use. Now, as far as managing your phone numbers, because I think you do need multiple phone numbers for marketing purposes, meaning the reason you want to do that is you want to be able to track, what's working, right? So you'll have a number for your abandoned signs if you do that. You'll have numbers for your text messaging. You have numbers for your cold calling, and so on. You have one for your website. All right, and so because you want to know by them communicating through you through phone in some cases, what's working and what's not working. So what is working, you obviously want to do more of it. What's not working, you want to try to correct it, to start producing more results. So.
All right. This one came from Val Turner. They said, "Does PropStream batch text / email?"
Now, PropStream doesn't do text messaging, but they do have an email option, which email is tough. If you're going to do that form of marketing, you might as well be doing text message. You're going to get a much, much higher response. So that's where you need to text the word text, which will be, it'll take you to text to flip, but I'm a reseller of batch leads, but I train you on how to use it there. So.
All right, this one says, "Is there a way to redo my list on batch leads after selecting 10,000 contacts?"
I've never built a list there, so I don't know how to filter it down to a smaller list on batch. But we can definitely get you some help with that. If you just text me, say I need help with setting up my batch leads or doing a list, I can get you scheduled with an onboarding to assist you with that.
All right. The first question on Instagram: How do you first start up, boss? I guess that's what they call you. Your first without the 95.
They say what now? So
how did you first start up without? I guess right after you had your right after you quit your 9 to 5.
How did I start up?
Yeah,
I had already
started. Yeah, you was already.
Yeah, I already started. I was doing it. I started basically in January. Well, I started educating myself in January of 2003. Did my first deal March of 2003, and I didn't quit the job I was working until May 1st, 2006. Now, I probably could have quit within that first year of doing it. I probably could have quit in 2003, but I was afraid to because I had a previous experience of quitting the same job and nearly starved to death. So, that could put a little fear into it. So what they call it, PSD? What is it? What is it, Ken? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I had some of that going on. You know what I'm saying? So in a
Had some of
different
that
way.
going on.
Huh?
You said I had some of that going on.
Yeah, I had some of that going on. So I was afraid to. Plus, also, I had got back to that job. It took me, that's why I quit in, let's see, was that February of 2001, I think. So, because when 9/11 happened, I was unemployed, feeling sorry for myself, laying in the bed, and I seen the plane and all that stuff. And I said, hey, wait a minute. I ain't got it that bad or whatever. Get your butt up and let's make some stuff happen. So anyway, so I got back to Bell South in 2002. So that year and a half, I guess you would say, they didn't have to hire me back. And some of the managers, what happened? They say can't hear.
On TikTok, they saying yeah.
It's static. Okay, which one is the pink? I'll just switch it over. Normally that fixes it. Is that better? TikTok. So anyway, I felt I owed it to them to stay there. So it was a combination of things going on. I was scared to quit. Plus, the manager spoke up for me to get the job back. So I felt like I was going to be letting them down. You know what I'm saying? Because there was plenty of people wanting the job. It was a very attractive job back then or whatever. So if you got a job at Bell South, that's supposed to have been it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's where you retire at. Of course, AT&T bought them a few years back, but that was it. I was 2 jobs. I was just really happy that I got. When I got hired at the post office, and then after that, I got hired at Bell South. Even went up what I thought went up a level. I was so happy. Woo.
They said that's better too.
Okay, yeah.
On TikTok. All right, the next question on Instagram. Should I have a CRM at the beginning or when I get the hang of things? I'm beginning and want to take this leap to start.
If it's in your budget, go ahead and get the management in place, so you can take CRM. We offer one. Text the word CRM to the number 205-964-5243.
All right. Can you provide the information or link to order bandit signs?
I was real quick on the bandit signs. Yeah, just text me on the bandit signs. I'll send you the information. But I was looking at one of the videos I was gonna send you to edit, Jessica. I was looking so sleepy and high. I wonder why people say. I said I was literally talking and sleep. I believe.
Is that the one I was talking and I said?
I don't know if it was that one, but I was like, golly. I was spitting it though. You need some energy, man. You need to wake up.
No, remember it was one time I had did this.
Oh yeah, I had actually went to sleep then. Speaking of Bell South one time, it used to be so pitiful after lunch, boy. You eat or whatever, and we had to get back on that phone. And I snore and I went and went to sleep on this lady talking to. She said, "Sir, you just went to sleep on me?" Oh, I thought I was in so much trouble. I literally fell asleep on her. I'm like, no, not my throat,
Your throat.
I got it. I literally fell asleep on her, man. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I digress.
All right. This is also on Instagram. How do you feel about hard money loans for multi-family rental property?
Hey, other people's money, right? If that's, as long as you can meet their minimum requirements, then yeah, that sounds like opportunity to me.
All right. Eric said that he has 3 abandoned houses. Let's partner up.
Okay, Eric, that is possible, but have you spoken to the owner, right? Are they off market? Do you have a price? Do you know the ARV? Are they great deals? If the answer is yes to all of those questions, then hey, here you go. Here are the instructions. Doop, 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 doop.
All right. This one says, what's the best way to find leads?
You fell asleep on me?
You
You need a whooping.
Oh,
Loud.
it was terrible.
Loud.
It was terrible. Oh, boy, you eat out. Oh, just pitiful up in there. Oof.
All right.
And they didn't play. You know what I'm saying? Like I was about to get, when I quit in May, I hadn't just got ridiculous. I was making a little money or whatever, making more. I had just got ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? They were
Feeling
gonna find my
yourself.
butt anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I was not being productive.
All right, this one says, what's the best way to find leads when you're targeting a nearby city and don't live in that specific city?
Well, one thing you could do now, MUD, open your mind. I'm not, you're talking about housing, I'm pretty sure, but that's relevant to land. But at the end of the day, if you're going to target a different market, ideally you want to target the areas where a decent amount of sales are happening. It may not be the A part of the market. It may not be even the B. It may just be C, maybe even a D. But definitely D is in dog, C and B is in boy, or whatever. The A's are a little tougher, harder to find deals a lot of times in those areas consistently. But definitely the B area. So you can build you a list of sold properties in certain zip codes. It's a little tedious, but you can get someone on Fiverr to probably do it for you for $20 or less or whatever to build a list. So once you determine the number of sales in a particular zip code over a certain time frame, let's say like the last 3 months, last 90 days, then now you can know what part of the market you'll want to target, based on the number of sales going. Because at the end of the day, that's what determines what's happening on the sales. Now you can do rentals also. You could target probably that, but fix and flipping is what you're normally targeting. So.
All right. This one says, how can I find the ARV for a duplex?
The ARV for a duplex. Well, hopefully you can find other duplexes. Is that a word?
Yeah.
That have sold in the area. But if you can't, right, the way I go about it, right, I'm going to find a normal sized house in that area, hopefully next door, across the street, and use that as my comp. And then whatever number I normally would come up with, then I may adjust it 10 to 15% more because it is a duplex and it's a double, basically, income producing property or whatever. So that's the way I would go about it if you don't have any other duplexes to compare it to.
Okay, this one says, they were told that Dayton, Ohio is a no competition area. Should I still work this area or no? Please help put me on.
What do you mean it's a no competition area? What is he saying? There's too much competition or there's not much? What is he saying there, Jessica?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you know what I like to do? Look at the metro population of Dayton, Ohio. I don't. 800, 14,000. That's more than enough. That's plenty.
Mm-hmm. All right.
A lot of the small town that I'm from, a lot of people when they leave, well, years ago, I don't think they really do it now, but like when I was growing up, for some reason they would leave and they would go to either Dayton, Ohio or Sandusky, Ohio. Yeah. For some reason I got plenty of relatives in Dayton and Sandusky. Yeah. I don't know nothing about either one of them. Never been to either one of them, but yeah, I got plenty. That's, huh? Oh yeah. I supposed to have a brother up there. My dad, when he ran off and left us. I do. I'm seeing him there. He is. I supposed to have my sister talk. Matter of fact, my sister talked to him recently, and my mama gonna say, "You tell him too much."
Yeah. I was about to say, you know your mama watching. You gonna get cussed out.
But yeah, I supposed to have a brother up there in Dayton. Yeah.
All right. Hey, brother.
He would be younger than me. He would be younger than me. Yeah. So, I said brother. I said a brother. Yeah.
All right. This one says, what do you recommend I say to a seller who's selling commercial real estate, 10 acres for $1 million? I would like to make an offer for 900,000 near an airport.
Ooh, 10 acres for $1 million. It's hard for me just to say. I have to just look at it, man. I just can't just tell you if that's an opportunity or not.
Okay. How does wholesaling pre-foreclosures work?
Wholesaling pre-foreclosures work. Just depend on how does wholesaling pre-foreclosures work. It just depends on the stage you catch them at. Assuming you get the seller and they want to do business with you, now it just boils down to still how much do they want to sell it for, how much equity is available. And if you don't know what that means is how much do they owe and what it's worth or what it can be worth, ARV. If it's a situation where they owe too much, then a couple of things. If we're talking about wholesaling now, that's one of the things you could do. But with wholesaling, then you have to, if you're going to try to create some profit / equity or equity / profit, then you have to go through what they call a short sale process with the lender. It has to be initiated with the seller, but that could easily take 120 days just to get an answer back that they would discount the property. I'm assuming you know what short sale means, but basically with a short sale, you're going back to the lender and asking them would they take less to pay off the house to make, to settle and, be done with each other or whatever. So there's a process that you go back to just to get them to tell you what they're willing to accept as well as a short sale amount. So we'll just say the house is worth $300,000, they owe $290, right? And you go through the short sale process and they say, yeah, we'll discount it down to $285. So you spend 4 months for $5,000 discount, and that's not a deal, not even close, where you need to probably be at $190. So yeah, that's the thing. So assuming all of that works, then you have normally if a short sale is needed, then they're going to normally involve a realtor, the lender, most of them. If it's not needed and the equity is already there, like if they owe, it's worth 300 ARV, but they owe 120 and they're willing to sell it for 140, then, it's just going to be a normal deal assuming you got enough time up against the auction date. So.
All right. How do you determine the age of a roof?
How do you determine the age of a roof? You ask the owner. There ain't no way to determine that, without them telling you. Now you can. Don't know? A lot of times they won't know.
Yeah.
Or lying, but whatever. Still, they not giving you the answer. So now I'm just going to be how it looks. And now you can get a roofer out and let them go inspect it and tell you the condition of it. Ideally, you're going in there and seeing if there are any leaks or anything. Now, for you as a wholesaler, again, you're just looking for potential leaks. Normally, you can see it in the ceiling or whatever. If there's some issues going on, sometimes they may patch it up. Just depends. But just telling the age of the roof, you won't know that unless the seller gives you some history about it, and hopefully they're telling the truth. But is it because a roof can cause a lot of damage in a house?
Oh yeah. Because what if it's how if it's inherited or something, you just might not know what it was.
Yeah, they may just not know. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So.
I got you. All right. This one came from Marisha J. She said, what is the process to buy from a wholesaler? I'm used to my agent.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm used to my agent / lender handling everything. Am I lost if I find a property via a wholesaler? What's the next step?
Oh, I forgot to say what the title was, ladies. Who will sell you a house with no banks?
Oh no, I'm thought the thing good.
Yeah. So now it makes sense. Guess who is the bank in this situation?
You.
And the other person is the buyer. Is who I'm lending. That's my house, and I own her financed it to her. So I'll get into it. So
people do that.
Yeah, she just paid me. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll get into it. Yeah, she looked happy. 99 more payments.
You lying.
So what my girl question here?
She said, "What is the process to buy from a wholesaler? I'm used to my agent/lender handling everything. I'm lost. Am I lost? If I find a property via a wholesaler, what's next?"
Okay, Marisha,
Marisha.
Marisha, are you buying houses? You mean to live in, or you're buying houses for rental income, or to fix and flip, or combination, or whatever? So it's sort of have to explain more, but I'm gonna just try to answer this question the way it's put here. What is the process to buy from a wholesaler? It just still starts with a contract. If you're on the buyer side of it, you're actually going to buy a property, then the wholesaler is just going to do a contract with you, or they may send you an assignment agreement, which I don't recommend. I prefer putting purchase and sales agreement. You and the wholesaler would agree on it, and then so whenever you get ready to close on it, assuming you're using cash or some form of private lending, then it's just a normal transaction at that point. Actually, a lot faster because if a loan is not included. So
Okay, cool. All right, this says, "Hey, Flip and crew, I need training for PropStream. How can she get that?"
oh, you're right on time. Now, assuming you signed up through digulator.com by texting the word tool, you got that part of it taken care of, right, Karen? Karen, you got that part taken care of. So then you would text the word time to get the training on PropStream. That is for you if you have signed up through digulator.com. Ken is on my, you know what. It just ain't free training. It's only big if you signed up through Digulator for PropStream. If you didn't, whatever other source you did, I'm sure they offer training to you. They will be happy to offer it to you. But this is how we get down over here. We trains our peoples. They sign up through us.
All right. The next question on Instagram. My 9 to 5 can make virtual wholesaling a thing for me, but do I have to tell the homeowner I am an out-of-state investor, or should I just tell them I'm in?
A lot of times they go back. Well, it'll just come up, and normally they don't care. If they're motivated to sell it to you cheap, in most cases they're not going to care if you're local or not. It's nothing you just have to say. It's just going to probably just come out through your conversation.
All right. We got 2 questions like this. So on Instagram, somebody said, "What should I do with 10,000 cash for my first home offer?" And then on this one on TikTok, this person said, "What would I do if I have 30,000 to invest?" So 10,000.
So we got one person that has 10,000 big ones
On Instagram.
on Instagram, and then TikTok has 30 grand. That's where TikTok one up on them, three up on them. All right, so you all are starting with an unbelievable war chest, right? You should easily, and I don't like to use the word easy, be able to add a 0 onto those. We're still in March, so we still got 9 months to go, basically. Well, yeah, a full 9 months to go. You should be able to add a 0 to that number and only touch very little of it, right? So it's just going to, number one, you need to educate yourself through whatever method, right? You can set the next 1 to 2 months just educating yourself on my YouTube channel. And then you're going to have an opportunity to leverage some of that money into generating leads. So I strongly encourage you to text the word mud. And then definitely use that as an option. But to educate yourself and then just understand the business at the end of the day boils down to generating daily leads. If you can do an effective job of that you're getting phones to ring, either your phone ringing and or their phone to ring, or some form of communication, whether it's text message, email, submitting a form, or whatever. But you're going to be able to make some things happen, or you should be able to make some things happen very quickly by the different methods of marketing out there that you can choose. So, hey, you just need to educate yourself on, and then how to leverage a small portion of that. When I say that, maybe $2,000 of it, before you shouldn't have to touch it again. You know, everything else will be, the business will feed itself. The deals will feed itself.
All right. This one came from Tyler. They said, how do I analyze the deal?
Tyler, most wholesalers fail because they don't know how to do what you just said, analyze a deal. So text the letters GD to this number, and then you'll need this follow-up video for ARV. So text the letters ARV.
All right, this one came from Sparkle. They said, hey, Flip Man, Sparkle here. I just left Birmingham on Sunday. There are so many boarded up and empty properties. I was there for 4 days. Yep, they are.
They said what now? What they said?
They just left Birmingham on Sunday. There are so many boarded up and empty properties. I was there for 4 days.
What part of town were you in, darling? Collegeville? where you was at?
No, don't read it like that.
There's several parts of town you could have been. Just like my sister. This was years. I've been here a long time, but you know, the first time she came here, she didn't come to see me. She came with somebody and went straight to Princeton, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's a different area of town. You know, it's cool. People live there. Nobody better than nobody else, but you're just gonna get a different visual versus some other parts of town. And you know, she wasn't impressed. That's fine. I say, so, you know, people just like anybody else. Whatever. Say, but you got different parts of the city. I would never have an interpretation of just one part of it. I know I didn't see all of it, right? Mm-hmm. But don't people know that?
Well, I don't think they're saying nothing bad. They just saying.
I haven't been in this place.
I'm saying when it comes to Mississippi, that's how it's.
What?
I don't know. I feel like
it's just like Alabama.
I know, but I feel like they don't really have anything going on other than.
We don't have that.
I know, but we got like.
What?
It looks better here.
Yeah.
Where? What? Depending on where.
Mississippi. To be honest, I know it's not like that, but I just feel like it's dirt road.
We got that in Alabama. That's why my mama lived on.
Like that, but
I feel like Mississippi.
I grew up on a dirt road. It's still dirt road.
I know. Here in the country.
In Alabama. It is. Trust me. I can tell you because I know. I ain't just defending just to be defending it. Where I grew up it borders Mississippi. It's no different.
But that's like a little small part of Alabama. I've been thinking about the whole. I feel like
I've been all over Alabama. I've been to several parts of Mississippi. Not as much as Alabama, but it's no different. That's.
I need to go out there.
Yeah. It's just like people, they'll say you can listen to other just stuff on the internet or what they may bring up, especially like when you know or whatever. I'd have been to this place or that or whatever. I'm like, it ain't no different. You know, people may talk different, right? At the end of the day, but people have money in some places, they got in other places. People are broke in some places, they broke in another. You know what I'm saying? It's, huh?
Yeah, when I go to my cousin and see them, they seem like down south, like we're still going through. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It be built, and now don't use ignorance as a negative word. You just don't know. You don't know, and you can just be interpreting something that it ain't what it is, or whatever.
All right. This one says, I just need to know how to get started. After that is discovered, I feel confident that I will win at this. Erica from Birmingham.
Oh, ain't no question about it, Erica. You're gonna make it happen, Miss Hubbard.
All right. This one's from Facebook. She said, how do I find comps in Florida? I currently reside in New York.
How do I find comps in Florida? She currently resides in New York. I have the answer for you. I love when they just make it so easy for you, boy. Okay. Bloop, 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 bloop.
I could not.
Text ARV to the number, Angela, and you will thank me later.
All right.
Who else had a root beer? I guess I should have did what what's the name said. We should have had a 6-pack back there.
Yeah. The men gonna learn it.
I just think I'll drink them if they're here. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, just forget about it. Just drink it when you need it.
I feel like I always did. Let me go get a swig. And so I just have to have. I just get a swig, and that just lasts me the whole day.
You need one of them little wielding shot things I took the other day.
For root beer?
Energy. No, it's like a wellness shot, but
Oh.
it's for energy.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, does determining the ARV take into account the repairs of the interior and exterior of a home?
Yeah, you know, when you're doing an ARV, you're basically saying, what will this house appraise for in excellent condition? So the condition is very important.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything.
All right. This also came from Angela from Facebook. She said,
Mhm.
I would like to know what is the cheapest and quickest way to find a deal?
The cheapest and quickest. That's a good combination, Jessica. The cheapest and quickest. What do you all think, ladies?
Cheapest and quickest way? Probably
Walking around.
Walking?
well, she said cheap because so gas is up.
Yeah.
But so if not walking, driving for dollars, or
But that ain't as cheap as it. You know.
I know now. That's why she said walking.
Not using your own card.
I was
a friend card and then
I was about to say
They still got to put gas in.
no, I'm saying the friend to go to everybody's house and have to their card to drive around fine.
Cheapest and quickest now.
would
Remember
say-
quickest.
I would say wholesaling other wholesalers properties.
Yeah, that's it. That's
No, go.
yeah, because wholesaling other wholesalers' properties is going to be the cheapest and quickest. So now you got to just build your buyers list first.
Mm-hmm.
Now that may take. Man, that don't take that long. That doesn't take that long. This video right here. Well, you're gonna need some money though. So it's basically gonna cost you well, you can't use this because we're really saying $0, ain't we? So now you just gonna have to go. You're gonna just have to network through a lot of fakes. You already on Facebook, Andrew. So you're gonna have to do a lot of networking to find maybe like 4 to 5 strong buyers in a particular market, and then just go at it hard. You know, targeting other wholesaler properties, reaching out to as many of them as you possibly can, whether they have a property under contract or not. You know, you want to be networking your butt off.
Okay.
Period.
All right.
I heard somebody use it, and I wish I could. I said I was going. I don't think I put it in my phone, but it's a term that you're gonna hear me say over and over again. Most of us, we are rich, right? Time rich. Time rich? Oh, we got time. You know what I'm saying? We got an abundance of. Normally, when you're rich, you got a lot of abundance of money. So you have an abundance of time. You know what I'm saying? So we time rich. I said, man, I love that. I'm about to use that. He said, that's fine. You can use it. I have to use that. That's some brilliant stuff. Time rich. Oh, you know, it might be coming.
All right. This one came from Josh Brown. He said, where do I find the text templates that I can use?
Well, technically, there's no text templates because to prevent spam with the carriers, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and so on, you just have to be creative in that initial message. That's the spam message, that initial message. So ideally, you're not going to say, hi, John. My name is such and such with such and such company. We want to buy your house at 123 Main Street. No, you need to be a little bit more tactful than that. I'm going to give you just one to go by, right? Hi, John. And if you're using batch leads, the way I teach you in this video right here, right? They have a code that you put in for the addresses, or it'll automatically put that person's address in there. But hi, John, 123 Main Street. Huh?
They're gonna think their phone froze. It look like that's why I looked at you and said,
Oh, no, that's what that's the message. Hey, John, 123 Main Street. You might just leave it at that. He knows that's his address. And so now in the system, none of the people have the same addresses. So now, you see what I'm saying? None of them have the same address. You just may leave it at that. They know that's their address. They say, well, why are you reaching out about me? This is one of my properties. Oh, we're reaching out to you because we would love to purchase the property. We're buying properties in the area. We need to buy 2 or 3 this month. We'd love to make you a fair cash offer if you have a moment to discuss it. You know, so. But you have to be creative. That's my point. So you may say something like, I'm gonna give you one more. Hi, John. Did you get the email I sent you about whatever?
You're just trying to get them to respond.
You're just trying to get them to
Yeah.
respond.
Because then you at least know that it's the right person.
You know it's the right person. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now you might get cussed out like Ken did on text messaging earlier.
Oh, it
Yeah.
happens.
Ooh, they clown. Like they ain't got nothing to
did.
do with it.
They did clown.
They ain't got nothing to do. Yeah. He kept it. He just
Yeah.
He went on my response.
yeah, like wow, what happened? I just want to pick up the phone. What happened?
Ken said she hopes they get that demon.
Yeah, right. What happened in your life?
What you said? She was like, I hope you get that demon out so you have a blessed day.
She don't want you no more. What happened, man?
All right. This one says, what are some of the, I think we kind of talked about this already, but what are some of the best ways to get leads for free?
What are some of the best ways to get leads for free?
That's what he was talking about earlier.
Yeah. Other wholesalers property.
Yeah, wholesaler, they've already done the hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you worked with or
Free now another free method is you can be online, you can target properties that are for rent, but hopefully you're reaching the owner. Now if on Zillow, it'll say listed by owner. If it says listed by property manager or listed by realtor or an agent, then that's different. But so and then you can scour the entire country. Some are going to have a lot more rental properties than others, but that's another free way.
All right. This one says, have you worked with or do you know of any hedge funds?
Very little that I've worked with, but you can actually use PropStream to find hedge funds, because in the filters you can put in there like whenever you're doing a search, say you put in there just residential single family, and then in the ownership information you can select corporate, and then it has a feature in there ask you how many properties do they own, right? You put in there 100 plus, it's gonna pull up hedge funds.
Okay.
Or you could put in there, 100 plus normally be a good number. A lot of times you can put in there 1,000 plus, and there's gonna be definitely hedge funds. Basically people that hedge a lot of money together to buy or to invest in whatever. I can give you the official definition, but it's got plenty of bread. Google it.
All right. This says, how do you calculate the ARV for a mobile home?
Well, if land is included, then you try to compare mobile homes to other mobile homes in the area. If land is included, if land isn't included, then it's just like coming up with the value of an automobile, which they don't have a Kelly Blue Book that I'm aware of for mobile homes. So what you have to do is reach out to mobile home dealers in the area and see what they will pay for that. You need to know the year of the mobile home, the manufacturer, the size, obviously condition, and then they'll probably want to have just a general idea where it's located, because that's going to include the moving costs. So a lot of mobile homes, it costs more to move them than what it's worth. So you have to just understand what you're dealing with there. But that's where you can just, like I say, reach out to the expert. Just don't provide too much information, because you can easily get backdoored.
All right. This one came from D-Mac Beats. He said, hey, Footman and crew, how often and how many times should you follow up with a lead before moving on?
You say, how they say what now?
How often and how many times should you follow up with a lead before moving on?
Well, it just depends on the type of lead too now. Say someone called you from a bandit sign, they were ready to sell, you actually agreed to a price that works, but now you can't get them on the phone. I'm gonna keep calling them. Then probably send them something in the mail. I'll try to call them from a different number. I want to hear no from them, especially if we agreed on a price. Now, if a situation they called you, I'm just using the bandit sign as an example, and you just can't get them on the phone, you still want to keep following up, then send them something in the mail. But if it's a cold call, you got them on the phone one time, you all discussed it, but you can't get it on again, then again, you're going to keep following up and use different methods of follow-up, whether it's text message, whether it's direct mail, maybe email if you have that. But you're going to just keep doing it normally until you get them back on the phone and they say no. So now you may stretch it out over time on when you're following up with them. You just never know what's going on in someone. It may not be ignoring you because they don't want to do business with you anymore. Just something just could have happened in their life that's just back on the back burner right now, and they don't want to discuss it. So you just never know.
All right.
Money made in the follow-up.
This one says, my name is Ramona. Last week I asked about funding to help with the subject to property that I'm turning into an Airbnb. Would you please provide this information to me once more? Hold on, y'all. He texted.
All right, say it again. I had to send a text on that.
All right. This one says, my name is Ramona. Last week I asked about funding to help with a subject to property that I'm turning into an Airbnb. Would you please provide this information to me once more?
She said funding.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I text. Well, she must have didn't text me. You have to just text me. I thought I responded to that though. If not, just text me. I'll send you over a funding option for that.
Okay. This one says, drive trucks and I really want to do this, but I think I would have to quit my job. I'm available only on weekends, but it's hard using my phone and focusing on the road at the same time.
Please don't do that.
I know that's right.
Oh my God, Lord. I must. So let me ask you this. What's his name? He didn't have a name. You don't have anyone that can help you?
I mean, I guess
A friend?
driving, he might not.
A friend? Yeah, I know they can talk. They be set up to talk now. A friend, relative, mate, brother, sister. I guess that could be a relative. So that's my first question. Now, if that's the answer is no, then you could be a weekend warrior. It's just going to take you longer, to put it all together in most cases. So it's only going to probably take a couple of deals for your financial situation. It may take more than that. I don't know, depending on how much the deals are, the paydays are. But it could be done. It's just going to take you a little longer if you are at least off on the weekends, especially since the daylight hours are longer.
All right. This one says, do you need a title company in each county, city, or state?
No, a lot of title companies will cover multiple counties, cities, and sometimes states. So it just depends, but you really don't even worry about that part of it because a lot of times your buyer is going to dictate that. Worry about the hard part of it. Putting a buyer on the contract, putting a seller on the contract and then a buyer on the contract at a higher price, getting it closed. And I don't like to use the word easy that much when explaining this, but that's the easy part, getting your deal closed once you actually have the paperwork in place with the seller and buyer. So.
All right. This one says, can you help me comp in Houma, Louisiana?
Houma, Louisiana. But going back to that title company, though, the simple thing, if you don't have one, you need one, you can just use the power of social media and networking. Post a question in my Facebook group, and if you want to join that, Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flip Man, just text the word group. But just text the word group to that 205-964-5243, and I'll post a question in there. What did I say the question be? What title companies or what closing attorneys are wholesaler friendly in XYZ city? And you can do it in local groups to that particular market or city. Mm-hmm. Can you help me comp in Houma, Louisiana? Well, I don't have anything that we do. We used to have a free conference service. We sort of let it go, but which I knew we were going to do that. And so can you help me comp in Houma, Louisiana? What I can do, what's her name?
Ease Beauty Essentials.
Ease. I can teach you how to fish, and you can feed yourself forever, right? Here we go. Boom. Boom.
Okay.
Text the letters ARP.
This one says, do you just need a purchase and sales agreement with the seller and an assignment contract with the cash buyer to do a wholesale deal?
Well, you can use an assignment contract, but I only use an actual contract in most cases. Where is it? And this video will explain. If you text the word contract, not only can you access the contract being used since 2003, giving it away for free, and has been used all over the country. Text the word contract to the number 205-964-5243.
All right. This says, I'm in California. It's really challenging out here. Should I virtual wholesale in another state? I really need to close the deal this month.
It's challenging everywhere, my man. So why not start with what you're familiar with? But now I can say, you can't, if you're going to target, if you're not going to listen to me and you just want to go in that virtual world, then text the word MUD and target land in different markets. That video will explain, it'll provide a script that you could download for free. Also how to build lists to find lands owners, they say.
All right. They also asked, should I have one or two websites? One for people wanting to sell their property and one for cash buyers to go to starting off?
Yes.
Okay.
Most definitely. You don't have to start off with websites, because some people don't have the budget for it, which it don't cost much. You can get a website, a decent professional deal done for under $100, right? Ideally, what you can do is just copy what others have done and put your twist on it. That simplifies it and makes it easy for people like on Fiverr, Fiverr.com or Upwork.com to build you a really good, clean site, for both options. So, but to answer your question, you do want to have, separate sites. You don't want those to be related. You don't want to seem like they are related, even though mine sort of look alike. But yeah, well, no, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
All right. This one came from Denise. She said, can you talk a little about if and how mindset plays a factor as you're working to grow your business?
Oh, wow. Of course, we have some, your mind is a powerful, powerful tool that most of us only use, obviously, but it's everything, Denise. Let's set expectations first, and it'll help with mindset. This sounds very easy, and in some cases, some deals are easy, right? But don't have that expectation. It's a grind, but it's so worth it. Whenever you're dealing with sellers, you need to have the attitude that you got $10 million in the bank, whether you have it or not, or you got $1 in the bank, but you're going to have the $10 million attitude, and you don't care if they do it or they don't. Now, you want to be nice with people because that's what you should do anyway, but building rapport. But at the end of the day, the numbers work or they don't, all right? And so you move on. So next, it just, period. Either the numbers work or they don't for you, and you move on. So the mindset of just being, number one, patient, knowing that you got to put the work in. You have to be persistent and consistent. Make sure you're doing a great deal of follow-up. And again, the main part of it is the seller side of it. You got to have control of that side of it. When the seller starts talking about they want you to use their contract and they're going to dictate the earnest money outside of what you're willing to put up, which everything's negotiable on that, but the contract is not an option. Where to close the deal is not an option with the seller. They don't have any control over that, which I don't recommend. Let me just say that. So, but the mindset is be persistent, work at it daily, and just have the right expectations. Because the first deal for most people is the hardest deal. Because now you believe it works. I just gotten paid to prove that it actually works. So hopefully I helped. I don't know if I answered the question or not, but hopefully I did.
All right, we got another one on Instagram. Nope, this TikTok, sorry. What are the best marketing options with a small budget? And you kind of already went over this, but.
Well, yeah, define small. They can define small. That's going to be relative. That $20, $200, $2,000, define small.
Let's see. This one says, will you JV with me on a 150 unit multifamily deal? Should I get it under contract?
Okay, most definitely. But what do we need in this situation, Jessica?
It needs to be a great deal. Need the ARV. You need to have it under contract, and you need to be dealing directly with the owner.
All right. She is right. Need to be dealing directly with the owner. You ain't having it on the contract may not be that big of a deal, but because they may require a significant amount of earnest money deposit. That's where I could possibly help. It definitely needs to be off market, meaning
Yeah.
it is not advertised anywhere on the internet for sale. When I say dealing directly with the owner, I mean you, not a partner.
You, the one who wrote the comment.
You're on the contract with the seller. If you were going to do a contract, you would be on the contract. That's who I need to be. So yeah, we can get down if those parameters be something I would love to take a look at. Maybe we can slice some pie.
The guy was funny. He said $500.
Oh, that's a good budget. That was more than what I had. That's a good budget. Yeah, you can get down with that.
But he said, what marketing options do you do?
Well, you can only, is that $500 a month or $500 forever?
Lord.
Huh?
He got 500 now. What he need to spend it on?
Text message and cold calling. You can put a text message and cold calling campaign together.
Let's see.
Oh, somebody just joining.
Oh, yes, so they said, what can I find a house to flip?
Everywhere.
All right, this one says, who can you buy from without needing a bank?
Okay, let's go ahead and answer the question. That's basically the cue.
The topic.
Yeah, you set it up, Jesse. There it is.
So I'm gonna show you.
So the topic for today: who will sell you a house with no banks? All right. So I don't know how good we did on the thumbnail today. What you think? If 10 is the best, 1 is terrible. Where we at, Jesse?
You look good.
No, but they do it.
Give me a number.
8.
Okay. What you think, Kenbo?
It looks good.
Let's give me a number.
It identified what you're saying.
Oh.
I thought you was bringing her the money.
You should have had like a bank on one side and like
And
the person on the other side, and then
waving
she
at me.
going to you instead of the bank.
Oh, that's a good one, Jess. Why
Yeah.
you? Well, you
Sometimes-
She's looking. I think it's because she got her kids on her too. It looked like you bring her the money. Like, come on, what a way. This was
Yeah.
Oh, we got something else going on.
Right. What kind of solicitation is this?
You got your head in your pocket.
Oh man.
Right. What
Oh boy.
kind of deal you paying for?
Oh wow. Oh boy.
Yeah.
What you say about my life?
Oh wow.
And she said,
I'm looking real sneaky right there, ain't it?
It is.
That guy looking real sneaky, ain't it?
She said in Gap leg.
Why my boy drew that picture like that, man?
It's not giving lady
Hey,
like.
she got holes in her pants. She
Right.
real fashionable,
It's
ain't
not
it?
giving lady like at all.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Oh boy. What's up? Hey. Boy. Okay, so what's the topic again?
Who will sell
Who will sell you a house with no
Yeah.
banks? Okay. All right. So most people think when you go buy a house, you have to get, you're gonna have the cash money yourself, or you got to get it from a mortgage company or a bank, whatever. So, all right, and then that involves your credit and all that stuff. Maybe have to come up with a small down payment, closing costs, and all of that. So there's another option. There are individuals out here that own real estate that will act as the bank, right? And why would they do that? Now, in a couple of situations, in some situations, it may just be sheer, I can't afford to make the payment anymore. So either I'm going to let it go back, or you can take up the payments. So now you can gain ownership. That's where subject to comes in. Lease options could be an option for that, where you can gain ownership of it. All right, assuming they owe money, they like say they have payment, they can't make them anymore, don't want to make them no more. The other option, and the biggest group of individuals that will sell you a house without a bank being involved, and just think about it in terms of this. See, banks and lenders, mortgage companies are in the business of lending money for what reason? What's the main reason they'll lend you money?
Because it's going to acquire interest.
Going to acquire interest, period. The only reason they have foreclosures is because they were forced to take it back. They are not in the buying and selling of real estate business. It's a indirect consequence of some of these folks ain't gonna pay us back and we got to get our bread back. It's an indirect consequence of the business, right? But ideally, they want that cash flow, that interest. That's what they want. Guess what? Let's flip that. People that rent out houses, why do they rent out houses?
Because they want cash flow.
They want cash flow. Same thing. All right, now some of them have not even thought about the option of owner financing, right? So when you when most cases on single family houses, when you're renting out a property, okay, so now you're responsible for whenever the toilet gets stopped up, or something went wrong with the electrical, the roof is going bad, the heating and air is going bad, right? So they're responsible for all of that normally. You know, and it can all be negotiated differently, but normally that's how it works. So now they're responsible for the taxes and insurance on the property. So when you reach out to an actual landlord, right, on a property that is for rent, you can easily, or I ain't gonna say easily, you can definitely, as I say, offers are free. Too much stuff. Offers are free. Where we at?
By the way.
Yeah.
There we go.
Offers are free. And people love this shirt. You know that?
That need to be one of them.
Yeah. They can get that. This is for sale here. And I was all in Las Vegas. They was like, towards it. That ain't what they say. I said, no, that ain't what they. But anyway, so but yeah, so for a landlord, they would love in most cases to be able to remove the landlording responsibilities from that property. Now, you'll have some landlords, they don't ever want to technically sell it, right? Or they at least want to hold on to it for X number of years, right? So it presents an opportunity to flip the script and say, hey, wouldn't you like to remove the landlord duties from this property? You know, people having to fix things. When one tenant moves out, now you go back in and repair everything to get it ready for the next tenant. Wouldn't you like to remove that headache, but still receive the cash flow on it? They call that mailbox money, right? Well, you literally don't do anything. And so for you as a wholesaler / real estate investor, again, you know, you're just making offers to them to see if they're willing to do it. You know, now some of those you're going to be able to get into fairly easy with no down payment or very little down payment or similar to first and last. You know, it's all negotiable. Then some of them are going to want a significant amount of money down. They may want 5 or 10% down based on the price that you've agreed upon. Now you can get into them charging you an interest rate. A lot of times they want to do a little more than what banks charge. If the rate at a bank is 4%, they may want to do 5 or 6, which is cool, or whatever. Still has to make sense. So for you as a real estate investor / wholesaler, you can do 1 or 2, you can do 3 things with it. It may be a house that you actually want to live in yourself and gain ownership, because especially if they don't owe anything on it, or they can subject to it also, but especially if they don't owe anything on it, meaning the owner, you know, you'll get it deeded over to you. It's actually your house. In order for them to take it back, they have to go through the same process that a bank or a lender would have to go through. They would have to foreclose on you because it's your house. But for them, they receive the cash flow in the house, and they don't have to worry about when the toilet stops up or when the heat and air goes out, the roof starts to leak. That's you. Whenever your roof starts to leak, you don't call Wells Fargo, you call a roofer, right? This will be the same situation. So you have to iron out those benefits to them. Now, that's one of them if you want to actually live in the house. The other option is you could do that owner finance and put a renter in there yourself, or you could do a wraparound, right? And you could owner finance it back out to somebody else, and you remove the headache yourself and receive cash flow on it. So obviously, in order to cash flow, you get it at one price monthly, and then you're going to do it at a higher price monthly to whoever's going to move in there. And then the third option, or you can rent it out. And so I just said you can own or finance it back out to somebody else, but you can rent it out too. And the third option, you just set up those beautiful terms and just still wholesale the terms. You still wholesale the deal. So who will sell a house with no banks? The largest group of individuals that will do that is going to be landlords. And they don't even have to be tired landlords. They just have to maybe convinced to look at things differently. You know, is that, hey, yeah, I still want to receive income on this property, and I really don't want to sell it for the next 15 years. Yeah, we could do a deal, you know, and then they may lower the rent just now lower the monthly payment that they were getting in rent just because now you remove the landlord responsibilities from it. But, you know, it's all negotiable. So, boom, that's all I got to say about that.
All right. Let's do a few more questions. This one says, hypothetically, would you accept, we was just listening to that song today. Hypothetically, would you accept a subject-to deal with a 6.75% adjustable rate on their mortgage? They're in pre-foreclosure and old tax liens. The value is $400K ARV.
With an adjustable mortgage, that's tough. You know, what's the next adjustable to? Because that can make your deal not make sense anymore. So you need to know that information thoroughly. So that they're in pre-foreclosure and old tax lien. Yeah, so you want to know that. Then how much do they actually owe? If the ARV is $400,000, what's the actual payoff? So all of that will factor in. What is the rental rate in that area? So it'll make sense based on the monthly, the difference between the monthly payment owed to the lender and the rental rate in the area. Will it cash flow? And then you want to know what the reinstatement amount is. If they're in pre-foreclosure, that means they're behind in payments. So what is the amount to reinstate the loan and get it out of pre-foreclosure?
All right. This one says, will you be offering the vacant land deal finder software for your subscribers? Please advise. Your channel is awesome.
They said, will you be offering the vacant land deal finder software for the subscribers? I don't have anything actually, we already really sort of have it. If you text the word MUD to this number, that's a recent video. That's the most recent demo video I did. I uploaded one yesterday. The queen of real estate data on yesterday. It's done really well. Thanks for everyone that's watched that video. But yeah, if you text MUD, I saw it already do it in that particular video.
All right. This one says, child in all caps. All right, Footman, good evening. First of all, I just want to personally thank you for all your free content on YouTube. Today is my 38th day ending my self-education. Okay. This one says, now I'm confident I'm going out to get my proof of concept.
Do it, Zillion now.
Thanks, Ty. All right,
no problem.
All right, this one's from, they said they're in Metro Detroit, wondering if there are plenty of good deals. I want to be clear on the op to JV with you. On the opportunity to JV with you. Do I need to have the seller under contract before sending you the deal to potentially JV?
Yes, sir, Jason. We need it under contract. This is houses we're talking about. We need it under contract. Need to be dealing directly with the owner. It's off market, and it is a great deal.
All right. This one says, with your program, do you offer the documents we need to do the deal?
In reality, and I hate people don't do their research before they spend money with me or whoever. The contract is free. Now we market it through what you probably have seen, but that contract has been free since 2008. So, and if you text the word contract to the number, you'll get a reply back with a video showing you how to fill it out for sellers and buyer and how to get it signed electronically quickly.
All right. How do you wholesale another investor's wholesale property?
How do you wholesale another wholesaler's property? It's simple. It's paperwork. They'll have it on the contract with the seller at a price. Either they're going to do one or two things. They're going to want to work with you, and you all do a 50-50. So basically, whatever they have the contract for with the seller is the contract you'll have with them as the buyer, and then you'll find a buyer for the deal. You all both go on the contract with the buyer, and you all split the difference of whatever it is on the contract with the seller and the cash buyer. Now, sometimes wholesalers will give you a price, and you're treating them as the seller knowingly. You know what the deal is, and whatever you make above that, you keep. Explain just how I explain how to deal with the buyer side of it. So, yeah.
All right. Let's see. I read that. This one says, "Blessings, Footman and team. I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. I have made a list, but I wanted to know, should I try calling or postcards first?"
Well, she said, should she start cold? Yolanda says, should she start cold calling or direct mail first? Cold calling is going to be so inexpensive in comparison, right?
Mm-hmm.
And more effective in reality. Both work now. They're just different or whatever. To do postcards correctly, you need to spend several $1,000s a month. Cold call, you can spend a couple of $100s a month and be in the game, before you get a deal and the beast can start to feed themselves.
All right. Would you partner with us on mobile home deals?
Karonda, if it's a deal, yes, ma'am.
Let's see. I'm gonna have a few more for you.
All right, so guys, we've been rolling pretty hard here. March 21st. I think I got everything out. What else I need up here? I think we did for that. Oh, the dialer. If you're gonna do cold calling, we do have a dialer that we recommend. Just text the word dialer to this number, 205-964-5243. Be efficient, speed up your calling with the dialer. So need to build lists to target buyers, sellers. Just text the word list. But if you didn't get your question answered, post them in the comment section of any video, and I answer those on a daily basis. If all of this will go into replay mode on all of these different platforms, the best experience, in my opinion, is on YouTube. So make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and Pinterest. Also, look me up on LinkedIn. We're in there also. So boom. I think that's all I have to say about that.
Follow us on Pinterest.
Follow us on Pinterest. We're up to 10. And
we're on 16.
Oh, 16. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So I guess we'll see you guys. Let's go old school. Okay. Tomorrow.
Bye.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash.